Hello there. Okay, so can you send me a screenshot of the link that's failed, and I'll look into that. Okay. With this one, it's a bit difficult to say. You don't. Sometimes you don't always have to give both sides. Sometimes the question will say discuss both sides. In that case, you obviously have to. Okay. But it's not always the thing. It'll say discuss this issue using examples and then with your own using examples from your own experience and provide your opinion or something like that. Okay, so if it specifically says both sides, then you do, but they're not very common. And here, yes, the structure is very rigid, but don't worry, it's going to get easier. It's rigid on purpose to start with, just so you get the idea. Here, if you do have lots of points, don't bother. Just one point with an example. We've only got 250 words. More points is probably going to push you over the word limit, which isn't good. Okay. Firstly, secondly, mainly used for when you're saying one side of the arguments, but you can use them for both sides of the arguments. However, it's better to say on the one hand, on the other hand. All right, let's have a look at these. So, let's see. According to some, interacting with children by participating in a game or activity is known to create greater abilities among them. Okay, compared to reading. Good, it is agreed, as it teaches children abilities such as spatial awareness. No, we don't need the at there, the as, just delete it. It is agreed it teaches children abilities such as spatial awareness and cognitive abilities. Repetition. Let's 3 times you've got the same word. So what could we say instead? Skills. Yeah, we could have just used the word skills. It says they will analyze this further by using relevant examples. Empty sentence. Okay, but don't worry, later we're going to look at how to avoid that, and that's coming up in a tutorial. Firstly, reading is a great habit and has numerous benefits. However, taking part in fun activities can make children more active and develop spatial awareness. Genius. Good. Okay, so we've got some repetition here. It is agreed that as it is agreed it teaches children a wide range of physical abilities, physical skills, which I missed in reading. Okay, or something like that, but just to avoid repeating the same words. Okay, let's see. This is because games and puzzles are designed in such a way that it is capable of challenging both physical body and the brain. Okay, both the physical body and the brain. For example, recent studies, that's correct, from Harvard University, capital U. And I guess you're saying Harvard would be the way Harvard University, in which case you would put a capital U, indicates, for example, recent studies from Harvard University indicate, if it's plural, that children who played some sort of game 2 to 3 times a week performed 20% better in aptitude tests than students who did not play at all. Fantastic. That's the type of example we want. Good work. Thus, games are capable of keeping children fit, in addition to making them more aware of their surroundings. Fantastic. 1 point, example, proving your point, and the closing of your paragraph, just summarizing your point. And this is how we get a clear argument. It's about clarity, it's about communication. It's not about the quality of the argument, it's about the quality of the communication. Okay? Secondly, reading will certainly help children in their academic performance, but on the other hand, playing games can teach them how to compete and the spirit of sportsmanship. Good. When children interact with a team, apart from developing cognitive abilities, it also teaches them the spirit of winning and losing. Good. For instance, a study by WHO showed that children participating in extracurricular activities have greater chances of performing well once they start working in their adult life. Fantastic. Therefore, although reading develops academic skills, playing games would help them in the long run. Wow, fantastic work. Now, stick to this structure, Shipra. Stick to this structure and you're going to benefit a lot. okay? Especially with your writing ability. These arguments are clear, they're coherent, your paragraphs are clear and coherent. It's fantastic. This is exactly what we want. To conclude, from the arguments and examples presented, playing some sort of game has a greater impact on children than reading. Good. It is predicted in the future games will become prevalent in the modern curriculum. Okay, so what did I do there? I put in some more vocabulary, topic-specific vocabulary like curriculum. I used a slightly fancy word, prevalent, and I also used a new grammar structure that hadn't been used yet. Future, it is predicted that. Okay, so that's just a tip, and that's an easy sentence you can stick on the conclusion anytime. Here, this essay will analyse both views using examples from Harvard and WHO to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, because this one is empty. Let's carry on. Let's have a look at your next work. Okay, let's go. Nowadays, it has been observed that communication within families has reduced to a great extent. Good. A busy lifestyle and increased living expenditures can be attributed to one of the main reasons for this change. Good. The following essay will discuss both sides. Okay, empty. How would we change that? Well, we would make sure it mentions something from the forthcoming paragraphs. Okay, then it becomes relevant and full of content. Firstly, communication among family members has primarily reduced as a result of hectic lifestyles. Good. Primarily. Fantastic. Well done. In other words, busy routines and inflexible schedules have left people with hardly any room for family time. Genius. For example, recent studies from Harvard. Oh, you did want to, I don't know, Harvard, I'm just going to guess, indicate that people spend as little as 2 to 3 hours a week with their families, mostly over the weekends, which is considered insufficient to maintain healthy relationships. Therefore, it can be said that individuals spend more time communicating at work, schools, and elsewhere, but hardly at home. Fantastic. Now, your work is so good, I'll be working on improving your writing, not correcting it. Okay? And one way we can improve it is to introduce some idiomatic expressions. But idiomatic expressions are like playing with fire. They can be quite dangerous, but still quite entertaining, make your writing a lot better. So what I want to say is, let's try and squeeze in for the next one all four corners of the earth. Okay, or all four corners of the all four corners of the earth. It's kind of an easy one to squeeze in. It basically means the globe. Research it, but I think with your writing ability, we should be using them. Yeah. Secondly, the increased cost of living has also contributed towards reduced interaction among family members. This is because growing expenditures and a desire for better living standards has made both parents work and as a result put their domestic life on hold. Good. For instance, recent statistics from the Bureau of Labour, fantastic example, shows that employees spend a minimum of 10 hours at work, further spend 2 to 3 hours at home. Oh, sorry, 2 to 3 hours on work at home. Subsequently, even though individuals are able to afford a decent lifestyle, they are unable to have one-on-one conversations with their family members. Fantastic. Very good argument. Now, perhaps we could have improved it by just using different units or different styles, a different type of argument, okay, just to make sure we get full points for lexical resource by using different vocab, okay, because we can see we've got hours, the numbers, work, at home, so what else could we do? We could say that, I don't know, that the relationship quality has fallen by 50%, something like that. Can you see? But just by using different units. In short, from the examples and arguments given, reduced interaction among family members in the recent past is a consequence of changing lifestyles, which is leading people with no time for their folks. Folks sounds a bit like spoken English. We could say for their loved ones, for the close family, for family relationships. Okay, very good work though, and Perhaps we could have put that sentence about the future. It is predicted the trend will continue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so very good work, Shipra. Let's carry on improving. You're on the right track. In the next essays, it won't be as rigid, but I do want you to follow this acronym, because with your writing ability, and if you follow this, it's crystal clear, the argument. And that's what we want. We want clarity. We don't want quality arguments with lots of points. We just want one single point clearly communicated, okay? All right, so implement the corrections that you've heard on these essays, then make a list of the mistakes, and then write me 2 new essays from the questions I send you, and then send it all back in one email, and I'll get it back to you as soon as possible. Okay, have a good day.